Okay, I'm gonna do my annual summer tour of my garden. Um, I love to do this just for myself because I like looking back every year and seeing what I grew and the different places I grew things. And it seems like every year something thrives and just does so good, and then some things do not so good. So I can learn a lot from each year and what I planted where. And you'll notice in my garden, like some gardens, are very ordered and specific. And this bed's for tomatoes, this bed's for cucumbers. My garden is not like that. If things come up volunteer, I let them be. I plant random things next to each other. Both of my boys have a garden, or a garden bed, so they get to pick what's in their garden beds. So it's random, sporadic, and I just like it like that. So you'll catch that as we go along. Another thing different that I did this year is last year it was my goal to grow everything from seed, so I did that. This year I did a mix of both seeds and starter plants. So this bed here, I once had artichokes thriving in it. I have a few little baby artichoke plants left because I cut them back really hard. But I do wildflowers in the spring, and then now I have a bunch of watermelons. So this, I cannot remember the variety, is a variety that I got like just from Home Depot. It was like a 6-pack, and I had little starter plants. This is the White Wonder watermelon. I grew it last year, and I grew this from seed. It's doing good. We liked it. The kids especially liked eating a white watermelon. It was really cool. It'll get a little bit bigger than this, but not much. And then I grew this jalapeno plant from seed, which is quite the accomplishment for me because I suck at growing peppers. And then this jalapeno plant I bought as a backup in case seeds didn't work. You can see it has some fruit on it. And I bought that from Home Depot as well. This bed right here, I had all my wheat in it, and I barely harvested it, after I had already got my garden going. So I cleaned it out a couple weeks ago and planted okra. And actually I have some roselle hibiscus mixed in. I got one plant right there in the middle, one plant right there. But the rest of this is all okra. And then along here I have cowpeas. I've never grown them before. This Friday I bought from Baker Creek, and it said it was like a bush variety, good for small gardens, and that you can eat the seeds young, or the seed pods young, like snap peas, and then or you can let them mature and cook the beans like black-eyed peas or cowpeas. But all the comments said that it worked best if you had like a little bit of a trellis because the bushes got so big. So that's why I put this there, because I'm not sure how they're gonna grow, so we'll see. And then up over this trellis is, last year I planted a ton of plants. This year I only planted one plant, and it was the long handle gourds. You can see this one's almost ready to pick. And I got a couple more underneath here. Let me turn around. There's another mature one. There's a few new ones. And then I got these big ones up here. So it's doing really good. This is just one plant. So that's really cool. Right next to it, because I like to cram things in, I just planted, like super recently from seed, some butternut squash. So this is that. I'm going to hopefully, grow it up amongst this vine. And then on this side of the trellis, I have the purple green beans that I grew last year. So these are from seed too. I have like 1, 2, 3 plants, and hoping they can fill in this side of the trellis. This massive plant right here, you can see these huge fruits. These are upper ground sweet potatoes. When I bought these seeds from Baker Creek, I thought the upper ground sweet potatoes were much smaller, more the size of actual sweet potatoes, but they're huge. They're supposedly a squash, but they look like Dole pumpkins. You can see there's a ton of fruit just on this one plant. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's another one under there. 6, 7. There's another one over there. 8. There's 8 huge fruit. I barely water this thing, like maybe once a week, maybe, and just a little bit. So it's obviously very drought tolerant and doing really well. So I can't wait to try those and see how they are. They're almost ready to pick. There's another one in there. So yeah, that's that. Over here, just out in the where there's nothing, I have Cinderella pumpkins. You can probably see some in there. Cinderella pumpkins. Over there I have a Big Mac's pumpkin, and then up against the fence I have, I think it's called like honey something or other pumpkin. But back to this bed, I also have okra under here. This tomato, which is a cherry tomato, you can see, just popped up volunteer, so I kept it there. But I have okra right here. You can see I've harvested a few off these plants. I just started some baby plants underneath. I doubt they'll survive because they're getting like barely any sun. And I have another big plant back here. And then this right here is a tomato, a lemon boy that I bought from Home Depot as a little baby plant. Right here I have some parsley. And then behind me, these are my kids' beds. So this is an Alibaba watermelon, but we saved seeds and it was next to a White Wonder. So I think it's a cross between Alibaba and a White Wonder, which is interesting if it has white flesh or not. So we'll see. Because usually Alibaba watermelons get a lot bigger than this, but this looks like it's almost done. You can see the nearest tendrils are almost dry, and that's how you know it's ready. So I'm assuming that's white inside. These 2 watermelons that are outside of the bed just came up volunteer, so I have no idea what those are. And then this is a purple bell pepper plant. Again, amazing that's doing good because I don't grow peppers well, but this is my son's bed, so maybe he grows peppers well. But we got this from the store, from Home Depot. You can see this one already starting to turn purple. That looks awesome. These 2 plants, this one and this one, both grown from seed, and they are some variety of purple pepper. My son wanted purple peppers this year, so I don't remember what they're called. Viola, maybe? I don't know. A bunch of purslane is coming up, just volunteer. My kids actually like to eat it, so I leave it. Sometimes I'll put it in salads, sometimes in smoothies. We don't eat a ton of it, but we do eat it. So I like to leave it, some of it, when it comes up. This is from Home Depot. Still we got the tag, a little shishito pepper. You can see there's a ton of them on there, and the kids love to eat these raw. This is another volunteer tomato. My son, this particular son doesn't like tomatoes, so this would not usually be in his bed, but since it's volunteer, we left it. Another purslane. And then this I'm really excited about because I tried to grow last year and didn't work. I think I started too late. It was a very little vine. But if you can see down here, isn't that so pretty? It's a Kajari melon. And I don't really like melons, but I figured I should grow them and see how they taste. I never buy them because I don't like them. So I have no idea if my son likes it or not, but he was excited to grow it. So we'll see. And I realized I had only ever tasted them from store, so maybe I like them when I grow them. So that's why we're checking that out. This is just a little woodworking spontaneous project for a 5-year-old that he decided to put in his bed. And then over here is a little trellis with some more of those purple green beans. You can see they should be starting to fruit soon. And then I'll back up a little bit and show you my other son's bed. So this one, all of these beautiful sunflowers are volunteer. So we left those. He loves cherry tomatoes. So we planted this one. We did not do it from seed. It is a black something or other, like black cherry tomato. I think it's just like a generic variety from Home Depot. The ripe ones don't last because he eats them every day. These are 2 random volunteer watermelons. We left them. There's a cute little baby. Looks like it might be another white wonder. So we'll see. He likes eggplant. We grew this one. It's the Ichiban Japanese variety. Bought that as a plant from Home Depot. And then behind here we have cucumbers. So these are the lemon cucumbers. I don't think there's any on it because we just picked some this morning. And then that we bought as starter plants. And then these are crystal apple cucumbers. So this has to be even smaller than the lemon cucumbers, almost bite size. There's a few baby ones on here, but no actual big ones off that yet. And these cucumbers have not been doing well. I couldn't figure out why, because last year the cucumbers were the best thing in the garden. And so I was reading randomly on someone's Instagram post about sunflowers and how if you plant them by things like your vegetables, they suck up all the nutrients and the water. So I'm wondering if these sunflowers, as pretty as they are stealing the nutrients from the cucumbers. And right here it might look like they don't get a lot of sun, but the sun goes like this, so they actually do get a lot of sun. So that's not the problem. So I'm going to chalk it up to the sunflowers are the problem. Over here, I guess these two are mine technically. This is a marrow squash. There's a few on there. It's a much more compact vine than what I usually grow squash-wise. I mean, not vine, bush. So I like that. The squash is good. This is a chanterelle or chanterice. I don't know how to say it, but another melon. This one I got from Textbook Plantery online. Look them up, Instagram, or check out their website. I don't know when melons are ready. I'm assuming how watermelons are when the little tendrils are dry. This one is not anywhere near dry. This one kind of looks like it's starting to crack. So I don't know. If you know, leave me in the comments. How do I know when this particular type of melon is ready? But it has quite a few. It has that one, this one, that one. I think that's it. But yeah, it's doing good. Right there I have potatoes. I took them out. Right there I have red onions, Stockton reds. So all my white onions I took out and I dried. Cured them. Not dried technically, I guess. Cured them. And I have them in my pantry and they're lasting and doing great. These ones I'm experimenting with. I had 12 of them to start. And so when they're ready, I've just been harvesting them straight out of the ground. And I'm seeing how long they'll last. I just picked 2 more today. They were still good. So that's amazing considering it's been so hot. I'm not watering them. So yeah, we'll see. Under here I have my last little random volunteer cilantro plant that I got to pull out. Because I already did my other ones. And I let them dry and ground. And then you can see they have the little seeds. And that's all coriander. So I don't really use coriander. I never buy it. But since I harvested it from my plants, I've been using it. And then if I have extra seeds, I just toss them. And cilantro plants will come up eventually when they're ready. This is my last bed. So right here looks like a million plants, but it's really just 2 squash plants. And it is a cross between crookneck yellow squash and standard green zucchini. I actually see one under here that I missed, and I think it's getting big. So you can see what it looks like. So I got this from my neighbor. She grew crookneck next to green zucchini last year, and this year she had a bunch of seeds coming up from one of her old squashes that she left in the ground, and it was coming out of a crookneck squash. So she's like, "Oh, you want some?" And then we didn't even think about, oh yeah, obviously probably crossed with something. So this is what we got. But the squash is good. It's great. It doesn't have all the bumps like the yellow squash, but it has kind of similar flavor. But it is straight and smooth like the zucchini. So it's actually really cool. This big old tomato that I got staked to this and this trellis is producing so much that it's just falling over. But it's doing good. It is a early girl tomato. It has so many tomatoes on it. Can't keep up with it. Every day we harvest from it. hiding in here, I have one of those sugar bell or baby bell or sugar baby, that's what it's called, watermelon. I planted that way before I planted this. Squash is overtaken. It doesn't get enough sun, so it's barely hanging on. I doubt I'll get any watermelons off that. Over here I have some flowers that are edible. I have calendula. I've been harvesting this and drying the flowers, saving it for tea in the winter. And then these plants, they've been going a long time, but they're still hanging on, are the starflower or the borage flowers. They're really good. They taste like cucumber. We've made tea out of them this summer. We've made ice cubes several times. The kids constantly eat them when they're out here. We put them in salads. We've really been using these a lot. This right here is like a big boy tomato. I was really lazy with the tomatoes this year and didn't start them from seed. I just bought plants. This one's doing okay. Pretty sure it's getting crowded out by the flowers and the squash, so it's not thriving, but it's doing fine. Then over here, up against the wall, I have a few green beans. I had them all there, but I didn't stay up on pruning the squash back because they shaded them out. But these are surviving. Should get some green beans soon. And that's it. And we got our chickens over there and all our fruit trees, and they're all doing great. We had nectarines. We had probably 300. We ate them all. Whatever the birds got to or fell off the tree, just from like kids running around and knocking on the tree, the chickens ate, which is nice. We have a pluot, dapple dandy pluot. We ate all those. We just finished those. Those are great. We probably had like 100, 150 of those, not as many as nectarine. We still have Emerald Butte green plums on here. Those are delicious. And then back behind here, you can see we have our jujube in the corner. That'll be ready in a couple months. You can see our peach tree is hanging on. And yes, I thinned it. And yes, I've continued to thin it. And now it's holding up barely by rope. But there's tons of peaches on it. That is a July Alberta. And then I have a white Arctic, I think, or white, I don't know what it is, white something or other peach back there. But that one has less, but it's still doing good too. So yeah, that's it. That's our update for the garden for 2019.